One. And we. And put the music. And we are live. Look at the tummy, look at the tummy, look at the tummy. Ah. Hello. How are you? Welcome to another episode of The Ruski Show, starring your host, me, Ruski. Hello, Mo. How's it go? Sorry for the wind, but that's how it goes. That's how she goes, Mo. That's how she goes. Excuse me. One moment, please. So, what do you want to talk about, chatters? Let's talk about adaptability. Let's talk about it. Adaptability. The chance to progress, to adhere to new surroundings, beginnings, change, new situations. How about to overcome? So, how do we adapt? How do we adapt? Well, you can adapt to negative and positive situations. You can adaptability comes over time, adjusting to for negative to know your enemy is to know your surroundings. It's to know how to adjust. Just like with a positive change, say you got to move. Say you're moving to a new home. You have to adjust to your new neighbors, adjust to new HOA, adjust to new surroundings, and adjust to life in general, such as relationships, such as trauma. Now, yeah, by the way, I will get to the trauma video. I've tried it twice. I didn't like it both times I tried the live, so I deleted both of them. Hopefully, talking about adjusting will help me adapt to the topic on trust. Life throws you curveballs. Life is always changing, and sometimes not for the positive. Sometimes adaptability takes days, weeks, months, years, depending on who the person is. Take a look at loss. Like, part of life is death. So when death happens, how do people adjust to it? Personally, first person I ever cared about that passed away was my father. I was 20 years old. he was 74 and he passed due to pancreatic cancer. It took not as long as others. You go you go through steps, shock, which definitely caused trauma, and I had to adapt to a life without my own father. That was, it's difficult for everyone. I had to adapt at an early age. That's a considerable thing. Not even old enough to drink, but had to go through death. How about well, I can't really talk on the military because I never was a soldier, but look at those people. Look at the military. They were born Americans, grow up with a certain lifestyle, and then it gets torn down and then rebuilt into a practical scenario for the military to handle, which is war. Look at trying to be on like tactful when I talk about adaptability, because that covers a really broad general certain areas, and I want to cover a bunch of situations that you can adapt to, or even people. Someone that likes you, someone that dislikes you, you have to adapt to that. Um, how people treat you. Although when you come to people and you have to adapt, you should try to talk to people with respect and being nice from the get-go. That's how I feel that people should be. And but there's that old phrase, respect is earned. I believe that respect should be given, and disrespect is earned. Once you cross somebody, then they earn your disrespect. That's how I feel. A lot of people feel differently. It's all perspective. And then, let's see, adapting to a normal state of life. Let's start from there. Quickly, get some water. So, adapting to, how about we say, you're comfortable a certain, you're comfortable in life. Say you've lived a certain way of life for years, right? You have a routine, you're comfortable, you do you, but something changes. The chinks in the change move. And now you're faced with, you lived a certain way and was comfortable and you're happy. And then something in your life changes your course. Let's say negative. You're going through a good spell and then you hit a low point. Adapting builds character, it builds intelligence, it shows maturity, especially adapting quickly. You know it's going to be frustrating. You know it's going to be awkward, uncomfortable. Feelings you don't want to go through, emotions you don't want to feel. Adapting can, or lack of adapting, can break a person, change your view. We have a high suicide rate in the States. Part of it is adapting. Culture shock. It hits people hard. Sometimes they can't bounce back. Give it your all. Sometimes we fail. but just got to keep going. Plummet through. Don't fall back. Well, in certain situations, only fall back if it gives you a new way of life. If it's positive. But sometimes you got to lead yourself and you got to keep going. You have to adapt for the best. That's why we do it for our lives. Adapting is just enhancing your life and going forward. So I just covered if you're if you're in a good state of your life and something changes your life in a negative way. So how about if you go through something negative? If you start out negative and then you proceed and you get it, your your life goes in a positive direction. Well, let's start at the negative first. Say that you've been going through your life from a child and you've been experiencing but nothing but negativity. All you know is as a kid is fear, and you're scared and you wish your life would change. When you're young, and I think either you have a child or you remember your days when you were a child and when you were a kid, and you go through negativity. So you were picked on by your schoolmates, or say your teachers didn't like you, and maybe you have a not or troubled home life. You don't have any parents. You have one parent, or maybe you have both parents, and they don't see eye to eye, and all you know is a negative situation. Hello, JTF. Welcome to the show. So, adapting. So, when you are when you are living as a child and you know nothing about negativity, and you, you might get that condition called Stockholm, where your negative situation becomes your normality because that's all you know, and you go through. Say your 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 young years, through your preteen years, through your teenage years, and maybe you won't even know the difference between that till you hit 18 or 21, when you actually become an adult and you start getting a job and getting an apartment, and now your life's changed. Or maybe you don't even bounce back from it that quickly. Maybe you bounce around, but then you get your shit together, you get a job and apartment and a car, and then your life changes. It's going through negative situations that you couldn't change when you were younger, but now that you're an adult, once you get that job, there you go, responsibility. Now you're getting cash, and you have to adapt. Now, obviously, there are going to be things in your way your entire life. Say you've had an average life where you get trials and tribulations, but you can bounce back. Small little things here and there, and you have a normal life, right? Say you had your both parents and good home life. But some people learn quicker than others, where adaptability becomes common sense. Maybe if you have a troubled lifestyle, there's better. So adaptability becomes, it's like natural to you. That's true. Yeah, I completely agree. Growing up in a hard, neglectful home can cause serious harm and very dangerous for that to become the norm. Thank you. And that's true. Um, but I think a human instinct we all possess is adaptability. Somewhere, maybe it's deep down inside you and it's harder to pull out than others. Others have an easier time. It's just, like I said, instinct, natural. And for some of it's just different. But eventually it'll come out. It's never too late. Sometimes, well, late's better than never, right? But you can teach yourself the adaptability. It's in you. It's a mentality, your mindset, how you think, how you perceive life. But focusing on yourself, taking time to yourself helps you adapt. Change. The only consistency we have is change. So knowing that, it's common. That's a common phrase. Everyone knows that phrase. So instinctively, we have to adapt. If we know that phrase, change is the only consistency, then adaptability is always in us. Well, some of us go through adaptability because we'll take religion, say Christianity. Hold on, let me get some water. So, and we never stop changing. We think about it. Even if you're as old as I am or young as I am, depending how old you are, I'm 44 years old. And maybe some decades were faster than others in adaptability. Right now, it's uh, quick, opposed to like say in my 20s, which seem very slow. It's weird because usually people adapt faster in their youth, in their 20s, than they would maybe in a later age. But that was the opposite for me. Travel, what, last year, 5 states, 9 months. Yeah, there was a lot of adapting. Um, Going through what I went through last year, adapting, but had to adapt quickly. Took me 4 months. Took me 4 months to get out the hospital and get a job in construction. But doing that still gives me hope. So, let that be a little bit of encouragement for you guys in trying to adapt. And people go through harder shit. People go through ongoing situations, problems where it's just not, hey, it's a day, next day is different. No, some people go through uh, situations in life where they're always going to be haunted or conflicted by something that they couldn't stop and they have to adapt. And saying that is easier than going through it, obviously, to the people that need to hear this. Um, People are going to keep going through hard times. People are out there that life is just going to be hard for them for the rest of their life. Yes, you can get encouragement from others, family, friends, significant others, but it's really in you. You're the only one that can, you know, for you to adapt, and you have to have a positive outlook towards it. It's harder to have that and do that than me saying it. I know I'm saying words, but these words are definitely true, and hopefully this can motivate people. You know, um, some people need tough love. Some people need tender, loving care. TLC. Some people need a mixture of both. I'm gonna try to do the tender, loving care part on my channel. You know, power of positivity, and whatever you're going through, and say it's the worst thing in the world, right? Like, there's really bad situations. There's really bad situations, and some of us know what those are, and some of us will never have to experience those. But for those that are going through, and I know I'm being very general and vague about it, but this is for anyone and everyone, and I don't know what everyone and anyone's going through, so that's why I'm keeping trying to stay positive and letting you guys know that even if you have no one, or you feel like you have no one, you got this. Keep that positive outlook towards life. Don't let anyone hinder you. If you got people questioning you all the time, they're not your friend, and keep going. And you can do it by yourself. But if you have loved ones, family, friends, significant others, whatever, lean on your family, your friends, lean on them to a point. Like, it's still on you. If you have a good base construct, that's cool. But you have to make the right decisions towards it. Without works, face dead. You always have to put in action daily. There are times when you're gonna not mentally not be okay. And that saying, what is that saying? It's okay not to not be okay. I guess that rings true. You're gonna have, like, we're human. We're not robots. We're gonna have bad days where whatever you're gonna go through is going to affect your life. Whatever that is. Some situations you're never gonna forget. But just because a really bad situation happened to you and something you're gonna have to live with for the rest of your life, you still can have a happy life. You still can go through successful. A lot of people in power, celebrities, whatever have you, have a great life. You got to put in the effort. Yeah, you got to have a got to smile, because having a positive attitude towards life and your adaptability and your change makes it that much easier. Right? By the way, this is the ASMR version of my life. Hopefully you guys like the background. It's the beach bar um, positivity hour. How about that? I was trying to find something. Beach bar positivity half hour. There you go. How about the beach, guys? It's easy for me to have a smile on my face, but there's a lot of you that aren't going through an easy time in life, and that's okay. You're going to have to adapt. You're going to have that king or queen attitude. You, like, I got this, man. Nothing is going to stand in my fucking way of happiness, peace of mind. That's what you're looking for. That's what every single person in this world wants: peace and happiness, whether you have family, friends, or whether you don't. You want peace at your job, you have to adapt towards that. And sometimes people don't have an easy job. Some people love their job, some people don't. but they have to adapt to their job. They got a shitty manager. They have shitty associates, customers. But you have to adapt. You got to find the positive in that negative. You have to adapt in a lot of aspects of your life. Kind of like I'm adapting now. ASMR version, guys. Go with it. Go with it. Feel the good vibes. Feel the vibes. That's actually a cigarette brand slogan. Feel the vibes. Well, the music's starting to play, guys. I'm gonna go do my thing. Um, Till the next time, take care of yourself, guys, and each other. Good night.